Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, so we are talking about the said God, Mother Eve. Of course, that's theme, the theme of our presentations here on Crime Queen's channel. So basically, there is the purpose of this is to really let's reacquaint ourselves with Mother Eve. It's really to get a full understanding of what is required of us to be part of this new evolution, new species of creation that we are becoming, or we are being part of. So when it is said, or Mother Eve said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, this is really pertaining to us right now. So what we have been given, this manual, you could say, the Holy Bible, which of course Mother Eve has really told me that not everything is to be taken literal in the Bible, and even the story of Genesis as well is not really as has been said altogether. This is why we have now seek for wisdom. It's not that how it is said, but it's how it's been construed and how it's been taught. And of course it has been written in a cunning way to really keep certain wisdom away from a certain group of people, we could say, or people who are not really ready to put themselves out there to seek that wisdom for themselves. So this is what Mother Eve has been talking about. And so the story of Adam and Eve, as we know it, is not like this, but Mother Eve is also giving us the morale or the understanding that is necessary for us to be able to make sense of our world or our existence so far. And that's why Mother Eve is now saying that there were several Eves as well. It's not just one Eve. So the scriptures or the story have not given us the full picture, but we have been blessed with the spirit of sound mind and with the spirit of imagination. And not only that, we have been blessed with the spirit of memory. This is what Mother Eve has really reminded us. And that's another reason why she calls us home. She calls us unto herself, to be able to tell us and relate to us the truth that is within us. In fact, the closer we are with Mother Eve, is the closer we get to remembering our true authentic selves. Now that's a beautiful thing to really get to know. I have been reacquainting myself so much with Mother Eve that now I seem to see serpents everywhere. Yeah. Now, of course, serpents were the things that we were, or creatures that we have been taught to be fearful of. Now, unless you have a sort of rebellious streak in you and curious spirit in you, you probably would not want to have a look at a snake at all. But I have been deliberately or consciously, I should say, thinking about the characteristics or the ways of a snake, of a serpent, and to help me understand the attributes of Mother Eve, even in that way. Because Mother Eve, as the serpent, would have come down from the tree or was fallen as we learned it to be, and would have crawled on her belly. That's what a mother does for unconditional love, to really show a child. Don't we do that as well? I know I did that with my son. When they crawl on the floor, I would crawl with him as well. I would crawl with him. I would have him on my back and I would be crawling like a creature on the floor. And that is just all part of the fun and wisdom of him, getting to understand the different processes of growth and our surroundings. And this is how a dog walks, and this is how a horse walks or crawls or gallops, and that's what I would do. So we are not to forget that Mother Eve would have taken the position of being everything that she is, meaning everything came, all forms of life came from her. And so she had taken on that which we see as a base position to really teach us everything. So she had been crawling on her belly. And crawling on her belly, of course, this is where I remember I crawled as well while I was having my Kundalini rise, because I was in so much pain. But that's what happens when we don't really listen, or we have taken on a certain role. This is what we do. We take on certain roles. This is how we learn. And if it means crawling on our belly to learn, then so be it. But that's what Mother Eve wants to teach us. She wants to teach us and how to really how to activate that rise, that serpent, the serum, which acts like the snake up in our spinal cord. That is what is happening, or that happens when we are ready to seek enlightenment. So that's the physiological interplay that happens within us, of course, but it's a spiritual act. And so we have to go with it in a spiritual context, that we are seeking that enlightenment, which will require from a degree of conditions, we could say, from us. It's not going to say that you should do this and that, but it is guiding you to do those things as form of the prerequisite that is necessary to not do damage to yourself. That is to not do damage to yourself. It's the kindness of love that is being deposited in our makeup to tell us, well, change our diet, change the way we are thinking, in the sense of having cleaner, healthier thoughts. We have seen that from the experiments of praying over water, and when it's frozen, or it could form a lovely flower because there was a lovely prayer over it. Or if it was curse words, it would be an ugly one, what we have often seen as ugly as well. Of course, it does not give us any joy to look at it. That's why it is ugly. And so that is what we are required to do. We are required to get to understand Mother Eve, in the sense that we can see the joy, we can see the flower, as I have mentioned a few times. We are, in fact, talking of flower, we had seen Mother Eve as the 8-petal flower. But what I wanted to do here in this presentation mainly is to show the difference, if there is any difference, between the word infinite here and the number 8. Then it's the number 8. Let's just look at that, or even 5. So let's do this numerical value first. And of course, wherever we have IN, we are already in this infinite state. So 6, 9, 5, 9, 2, 5. Now I always say, wherever you see 3 5s in a word, that is my code and observation that I have made. Mother Eve is right there in it, right? So 3 5s 15 and 3 9s 18. So 18 plus 15 is, this is 13, 33. And we have 6 plus 2 is 8. So, of course, this is 41. Of course, when we add this together is 41. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Now, the word infinite is 41. Now, that really makes me, it gives me a good feeling because it mirrors the number 14, which is Mother Eve. When we do Eve, of course, is 14. Now, of course, as I say, I'm of 14 children and I'm the 5th child. So I get a bit sentimental about this. And when we add 1 plus 4 together, that equals 5. Now, here, in actual fact, the word infinite is actually 5. Now, of course, we have all associated the number 8 with the word with infinity. It's the symbol for infinity. Now, that's what I found fascinating. Why would it be seen as the symbol of infinity? Whereas, of course, because it goes on and on, it doesn't break at all. But let's look at where the word, look at the symbol of 5. Now, what happens with 5 is, of course, it's got 2 points. But it's really so balanced because, as I've said before, it has this masculine part here and this feminine part here. It is also got one end going this way and one going that way. It is really key. It is masculine and feminine. It is hard and soft. It goes this way and it goes that way. So that is really a wonderful way to look at 5, as that it is infinite in its capability to do anything. So in all the things it can do, of course, it also equals the word key. Now, key is really, it's like the master key. So this is 2, 5, 7. Of course, 12 plus 2 is 14. And directly 14, which is Mother Eve. And just to go along with, again, we had the word uterus, uterus, which was 23. I think it was 23, but anyway, it would be more than 23. So this is 9 and 4, 13, 18, 19, 23. It is 23. And we have the word kundalini, which is what we have been talking about here a lot. Kundalini is, again, it has those IN, which is all these 5 5s in there as well. So that is under 9, 5. So when we see this, we see that it is also, it has that infinite ability to it. It's the IN, the 9 and the 5 close together. It's giving us that indication that it is infinite. It's really infinite. Now, just to have a pictorial representation of this, let's look at here. So we saw the symbol of 8, which is what Mother Eve ate of the fruit. She ate of the fruit. This is why she wants us to come together to having this understanding of the word ate. That the word ate is actually 8. Here, when we add this together, it's 8. Or if you eat, it's also 8. Now that's what happened. Mother Eve ate of the fruit. Now to eat of something, it has to go into the mouth. Now the mouth is really like what is infinite. So it's like whatever you eat is also infinite in that sense of that it goes one way and comes out the other, as above, so below, as within, so without. So that too is infinite. So it has that relationship with whatever it is eating or it has ate. And that's what Mother Eve is showing us here. So you can imagine the 8 is like a twisted rubber band, like I normally say. It's like a twisted rubber band, but the mouth, so in actual fact, it is a mouth in a mouth. It is the hole in a hole. It's like a baby in the womb. It's like the baby is whole, but the baby is in the mother. And that's what we have right here. So here we see that the word 8 and the word or the word infinite is actually the mouth here as well, as much as it is the symbol. So the word infinite, which we have associated the symbol 8 to be that of infinity, is teaching us the correlation with the mouth itself right there. It's telling us, like in the words of Emmett Fox, nothing gets into your consciousness unless it finds something like itself on which to attach itself to. So this is where we have this relationship here. And again, this is what Mother Eve wants to teach us, how to have this 8th entrance, this entry, like she has done, or she has stipulated in her list of contracts. Again, as I say, Mother Eve is ready to hand over this legacy onto her children, in this sense, or like a mother was. This is what she said to Eve in the garden as well, when the serpent, which is like she is playing both roles. Remember, if the God have told you, if the God said to you, don't eat of the fruit, oh, remember, I have given you all fruit-bearing seed, that which have its seed in it. So she is reminding her daughter that, you know, yes, the God may have told you this, but however, I have told you, I have given you all seeds, all fruits that have their seed in it. And the fruit itself is that we are the seeds, and we are also the trees, and we are also the fruit. So this is what I'm talking about, like a mother who's bearing a child, who has a child within her. The whole is like the cell has everything of a baby or a human in it. Everything already contains everything, and the baby already contains everything, but it's in the womb. And that's what Mother Eve was trying to teach her daughter as well. So we have this story has been given, it has a degree of ambiguity in it, and so, but it is seeking the wisdom of Mother Eve to teach us. Remember, I have given you. She has given us the wisdom, but we need to come home to be able to ignite that wisdom. So I hope you have found this fun. I hope you have found this well, somewhat insightful to some extent. So please leave your comments, and let me thank you as well for taking the time to watch this video or any other videos on Crimey Queen's channel. So do join us again as we, of course, come up with, well, not just come up, we'll be presenting more on Mother Eve, because this is really the theme of getting reacquainted with the divine feminine. Let there be light, and there was light.